Starting this quiz, this current affairs, and whatever I have notes from Veer Talyan, I was using that. So basically, I'm listening to that. So I'm now reading this all. Here, 1st March, as we know that it is Zero Discrimination Day, means we do not have to discriminate with any person. Here, it is the basic aim of this is to raise awareness against discrimination, which often happens because of the caste, religion, race, age, gender, weight, and height. So the theme is zero discrimination against women and girls. Now we have World Defense Day, that is that basically celebrated on the same day, 1st March, and it aims is to basically provide to help people know about the importance of civil protection. Civil defense or civil protection is an effort to protect the citizen of a state from military attacks and natural disasters. Now theme is that civil defense is a first aider in every home. Okay, so from any military attack and natural disaster, they need to protect the civilian and to help the people know about the importance of civil protection. Now we have one-liner news, that is over 1,000 of militants of 5 militant group of Karbi Analong district ceremonial laid down army at the event of Guwahati in the presence of Assam Chief Minister. So what has happened here, over 1,000 militants of 5 militant group of Karbi Analong district, they have a ceremonial led down army at an event of Guwahati in the presence of Assam Chief Minister, and the entire political discourse in this constituency and comprising 3 districts of Karbi Analong and also West Karbi Analong, that is split from the former in 1926. So that is split in 2016, not 1956, sorry, 2016 that has been split apart, and also Dima Hasao. So there are 3 districts, that is Karbi Analong, West Karbi Analong and Dima Hasao. Now it revolves around the demand for granting of autonomous status to the region. Now we have and more autonomy power to the KAAC and North Chahar Hills Autonomous Council, which administers over Dima Hasao district. Now here Japan appointed a Minister of Loneliness. So Minister of Loneliness Japan appointed, and after country suicide rate went up for first time in 11 years, and most experts believe that the problem of escalating suicides in Japan is tied to country's culture of loneliness. So there could be a reason that loneliness and suicidal rate has increased now. Now the debate around court etiquette in India, it was triggered again after Supreme Court bench headed by the CJI Justice S.A. Bobde objected a petitioner addressing judges, Your Honor, to address this issue. A resolution by the Bar Council of India in 2016 added Chapter 13, 3rd A to Part 4 of RBIC, that is Bar Council of India rules. And interestingly, while 2006 notification discouraged the use of my lord and your lordship, it prescribed Your Honor or Honorable Court as an acceptable way for addressing the Supreme Court and High Court and Sir and Subordinate Court and Tribunal Courts. So Your Honor and Honorable Court is acceptable, or Sir in the Subordinate Courts and Tribunal we can ask. Now here we have Gorkhaland, okay, Gorkhaland here, Karo Hills, Khasi Hills, Jayantia Hills, Dima Hasao, Tripura, Sardar Hills, Karbi Analong. So Karbi Analong, Dima Hasao, Bodo land is there, also Tripura. These all are things. Now here we have another one-line news that like Prime Minister Modi inaugurated the India Toy Fair, and it is also emphasized boosting the toy manufacture in India. And the government of India has also launched that Toycathon, that is an online toy hackathon for innovative toy games concepts that is based on the Bharatiya civilization and also history, culture, mythology, and also ethos. Now, Union Minister of Development of Northeastern Region, that is Donor Development of Northeastern Region, inaugurated the latest technology, that is integrated bamboo treatment plant in the premises of Northeast Cane and Bamboo Development Council in Barihan near Guwahati. Now, this plant is basically based on the vacuum pressure impregnation technique, and it was founded by the National Bamboo Mission and the Northeastern Council to make India self-reliant in bamboo industry and it create employment. Now, the city, that is Innovation Exchange platform, that was launched by Secretary, that is Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. Now, City Innovation Exchange will connect cities to innovators across the national ecosystem to design innovative solutions to their pressing challenges. Here, National Board for Wildlife and Union Minister of Environment, that is the Karkal, and the medium-sized wildcat found in the parts of Rajasthan and Gujarat. In the list of critically endangered species, we have some international news, that is UNHRC, that we know that United Nations Human Rights Council. It is basically, so it is a news because Sri Lanka has made an appeal to the member state of United Nations Human Rights Council to reject the impending resolution on the Iceland nation's human rights accountability and reconciliation. Here, Sri Lanka is facing a new resolution calling on it to hold human rights abusers to account and deliver justice to victims of its 26-year civil war that has been from 1983 to 2009. Now, the war was mainly a clash between the Sinhalese dominated Sri Lankan government and Liberation Tigers of Tamil Eelam insurgent group, and the latter of which had hoped to establish a separate state for Tamil minority. And also the Sri Lankan force and Tamil rebel were accused of atrocities during the war, which killed at least 1 lakh people. If we talk about new draft resolution, this draft resolution incorporates some of the elements of the UNHRC report that include those on strengthening the human HRC capacity on preserving evidence and devising strategies for future accountability process and supporting judicial proceeding in a member state and jurisdiction. As per the UNHRC report, the government of Sri Lanka, they basically created paramilitary task forces and commissions that encroach on civilian functions and reversed important institutional checks and balances, threatening democratic gains and also the independence of the judiciary and other key institutions. He basically asked the High Commissioner Office to monitor progress on national reconciliation and accountability mechanism and came up with updates in March and a full report in September 2022. Here, it also talks about encouraging the Sri Lankan government to implement the requirement of previous 13/1 resolution from which it pulled out. Now, Resolution 13/1, we know that it went to Colombo to establish a credible judicial process with the participation of the Commonwealth and other foreign judges, defense lawyers and authorized prosecutors and investigators to go into the alleged rights abuses. Here we have National Urban Digital Mission. We know that National Urban Digital Mission that was basically launched by the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs along with the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, that is METI, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. So that is METI, and So here, several other digital innovation initiatives of that is Ministry of Home, Housing and Urban Affairs was India's Urban Data Exchange, Smart Code, Smart Cities 2.0 website, and Geospatial Management Information System have also been launched. Now, these initiatives will further ongoing efforts of both ministries to realize the vision of the Digital India and Atmanirbhar Bharat. If we talk about National Urban Digital Mission, that it basically create a shared digital infrastructure for urban India and working across the three pillars of people, process and platform. It basically provides holistic support to cities and towns. If we talk about Indian Urban Data Index, India Urban Data Exchange that has been developed in the partnership between the Smart Cities Mission and also the Indian Institute of Science that is in Bangalore. It basically serves the seamless interface for data providers and data users, including urban local bodies, to share, request and access data sets related to cities, urban governance and urban service delivery. Now, Smart Code is a platform that enables all ecosystem stakeholders to contribute to the repository to open source code for various solutions and applications for urban governance. It is basically designed to address the challenges of ULB, that is urban local bodies, it faces in the development and the deployment of digital applications to address urban challenges and by enabling cities to take advantage of existing codes and customizing them to suit local needs rather than having a develop new solution from scratch. Here, Geospatial Management Information System. It is a web-based, spatially enabled management tool. It providing one-stop access to information and intergeneration information from multiple sources and feature search option by topic and geographic area. If we talk about why it is a news, because President's rule, if we talk about President rule has been imposed in the Union Territory of Puducherry on the recommendation of the Lieutenant Governor after established government lost power during a vote of confidence. Here, the President was satisfied that the situation had arisen in which the administration of the Union Territory of the Puducherry could not carry on the accordance with the provision of the Government of Union Territories Act 1963. So here the Government of Union Territory Act 1963 that enacted by the Parliament in accordance with the provision of 239A. Here the Article 239 to 242, that is Part 3 of the Indian Constitution, that deals with the administration of Union Territories. Every Union Territory is administered by President acting through an administrator appointed by him. Now, an administrator of a Union Territory is basically an agent of the President and not head of state like the government. So, the President can specify the designation of an administrator. It may be Lieutenant Governor, Chief Commissioner or Administrator. So, the President can specify any LG, Chief Commissioner or Administrator. Now, the Union Territory of Puducherry Act 1963 and Delhi it was Act in 1992 and Jammu Kashmir it has 2019. Is basically they are providing a legislative assembly and a council of minister. So they have a council of minister and also legislative assembly that is headed by the chief minister. But the establishment of such institution in the Union Territory does not diminish the supreme control of the President and Parliament over them. Means even though there is a President rule, but the supreme control of the President and Parliament is there, and also the Parliament can make laws on any subject of the three lists, that is state list and Union Territories. Now, President rules implies that the suspension of the state government and imposition of the direct rule of the center. It is known as state emergency or constitutional emergency. Now, the president rule is basically imposed through the invocation of Article 356 of the Constitution by the President on advice of the Union Council of Ministers. Now we have information technology. Here it is in news because recently the government has notified that information technology, that is intermediary guidelines and digital media ethics code rules 2021. Here an ad hoc committee of Rajya Sabha led its report after studying the alarming issue of pornography on social media and also its effect on the children and the society as on the whole, and recommendation for enabling identification of the first originator of such content. So here the government brought video streaming over the top platforms and under the ambit of the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. Now these new roles broadly deal with social media and over the top platform. Here these rules have framed an exercise of a power under section 87 subsection 2 of the Information Technology Act 2000 now, and in suppression of earlier information technology intermediary guidelines rules 2011 in case due diligence is not followed by the intermediary. Safe harbor provisions will not apply to them. The safe harbor provision we know that have been defined in section 17 of Information Technology Act 2000. Here it protects social media intermediaries by giving them immunity from legal provision for any content posted on their platform. So it basically protect social media intermediaries by giving them immunity from legal prosecution for any content they posted on their platform. Also intermediaries that shall appoint a grievance officer to deal with complaints, and it share the name and contact details of such officer. Now grievance officer shall acknowledge the complaint within 24 hours and resolve it within 15 days from its receipt, and intermediaries shall remove or disable access within 24 hours of receipt of complaints of the content that exposes the private areas of individuals. Shows how individuals in full or partially nudity or sexual act or is in the nature of impersonation including morphed images. Now here we have Vijay Sampla. It is in news because recently Vijay Sampla has been appointed as a chairman of National Commission for Schedule Caste. So Vijay Sampla is appointed chairman of National Commission for Schedule Caste. So NCSC, there is Vijay Sampla has been appointed as chairman. Here NCSC, we know that is a constitutional body that works to safeguard the interest of the scheduled caste in India, and Article 338 of the Constitution of India that deals with this commission. It provides for a national commission for the scheduled caste and scheduled tribe with duties to investigate and monitor all matters that is relating to safeguard providing to them, to inquire into specific complaints and to participate and advise on the planning process of their socio-economic development. Now initially the Constitution provided the appointment of special officer under Article 338. Now the special officer was designated as a commissioner for the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. Now 65th amendment, 65th amendment in the Constitution, it has happened under, and Article 338 of the Constitution, it basically replaced the one member system with a multi-member body. So National Commission for Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribes. Now 89th Amendment 2003, the erstwhile National Commission for Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribe was replaced two separate commissions from the year 2004, that which were National Commission for Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribes and also Article 338A. Now it consists of a chairperson, vice chairperson and other 3 members. So there are 5 total: chairperson, vice chairperson and 3 other members. They are appointed by the president by warrant under his hand and seal. If you go about the quiz, like Zero Discrimination Day, theme is to girls को empower करना है. Civil defense or civil protection is an effort to provide. Now that is appointed a Ministry of Society for the first time. Japan appointed, who is appointed? if we talk about Japan appointed a minister, no? Japan appointed a minister. I thought that there is some name. There is answer, so we'll check into this. Here, a Supreme Court bench headed by the Chief Justice Bobde objected, Your Honor, that is, and also the City Innovation Exchange platform that is launched by the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, and Article 239 to 242 under Part 8 of the Indian Constitution that deals with the administration of the Union Territories. And recently the government has notified Information Technology Intermediate Guidelines and Digital Media Ethics Code Rule 2021. Here the National Commission for Scheduled Tribes and Scheduled NCSC is a constitutional body under Article 338. Here if we talk about National Science Day, it is National Science Day that is on 28th of February. Here the theme is of impact on educational skills and work, and total import from China at US dollar. It is basically the February current affairs. So don't talk, just act. Don't say, just show. Don't promise, just prove. Here the question is, here the one-liner news, the Department of Drinking Water and Sanitation. So drinking water and sanitation, so this is DDWS, Department of Drinking Water and Sanitation, that is Ministry of Jal Shakti, that has announced the selection of 12 iconic sites that under phase 4 of the Swachh Iconic Place SIP under Swachh Iconic Places SIP initiative of Swachh Bharat Mission. Here it aims to basically to transform the iconic heritage, spiritual and cultural places in the country as Swachh tourist destination. Places are Ajanta Caves, Maharashtra; Sanchi Stupa, Madhya Pradesh; Kumbhalgarh Fort, Rajasthan; Jaisalmer Fort, Rajasthan; also Ramdevra, Jaisalmer, Rajasthan; Golconda Fort, that is in Hyderabad, Telangana; Sun Temple we know that is in Konark, Odisha; Rock Garden is Chandigarh; Dal Lake, Srinagar, Jammu Kashmir; and Baki Bihari Temple that is in Mathura, Uttar Pradesh; and Agra Fort that is in Agra, Uttar Pradesh; and Kalighat Temple that is in West Bengal. So what is the aim? Aim is to transform the iconic heritage and spiritual and cultural places in the country as a Swachh tourist destination. So Swachh tourist destination, they wants to take this initiative. Here if we go into the news, that this is Ajanta, Maharashtra, and it is Sanchi Stupa, Madhya Pradesh; it is Kumbhalgarh Fort, Rajasthan; Jaisalmer Fort, Rajasthan; Ramdevra, Rajasthan; Golconda Fort in Telangana; Sun Temple we know in Odisha; and Rock Garden in Chandigarh; Kalighat Temple in West Bengal; and Dal Lake in. Here we have one-liner news, that is, now LPG can be transported through inland waterways. Inland Waterways Authority of India signed an MOU and with MOL, that is Asia Oceanic Pte. Limited, for transportation of LPG through barrage on national waterways and national waterways too. Now in the heart of Berlin, a new sacred building is coming up with the aim of bringing Christians, Jews and Muslims into a single place of worship, that is called the House of One, or colloquially Choromoskoge. It incorporates a church, a mosque and a synagogue. Now here the House of One is coming up on a site of the old St. Peter's Church, which was damaged in World War II and completely demolished by the government of East Germany in 1964. Here we have that Ghana. Ghana has become the first country in the world to receive the shipment of coronavirus vaccine under COVAX program. So the COVAX program, that is led by the Vaccination Alliance, that is Gavi, the World Health Program WHO, and the Coalition of Epidemic Preparedness Innovations in partnership with UNICEF, vaccines manufacturer, and World Bank, among other. Now we have Union Ministry for Finance for Corporate Affairs inaugurated the Competition Commission for CCI and Regional Office South in Chennai. Here we have Competition Commission of India. We know that it has been founded. The Competition Commission Act is in force in 2002, so it's going to be, and it is founded in 2003 October, and it is in New Delhi. First executive was Dhanendra Kumar. If we talk about Pakistan on grey list, we know that the Financial Action Task Force had decided to retain Pakistan on a grey list till the next review of its performance on its recommendation during the June plenary sessions. Here, during the October 2020 plenary, due to COVID-19 pandemic, Pakistan was given an extension for full compliance with the 27-point action plan till February 21. Here, it had not fully complied with 6 of the 27 directives. Not fully complied with 6 of the 27 directives. Now the FATF had issued 27 action plans after placing Pakistan on the grey list in June 2018. Now the action plan permits to curbing money laundering and terror financing. FATF, we know that it acknowledged Pakistan's significant process in combating terrorism. However, it was still to fully comply with 3 of the 27-point action plan. Here the 3 points put into effective steps in terms of financial sanctions and penalties that against the terror funding infrastructure and entities that involved. After assessing the measures taken during the June 2021 session, and the FATF would verify the implementation, the text and sustainability of the reform that are undertaken by the Pakistan to review its inclusion or exclusion to the grey list. Now, Financial Action Task Force is an intergovernmental body established in 1989 during the G7 summit in Paris. So, it is established in 1989 during G7 summit that held in Paris. Now, the FATF assesses the strength of a country anti-money laundering and anti-terror financing framework. However, it does not go beyond individual cases. Now, the Secretariat is located at the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development headquarters in Paris. Now, the FATF is plenary in its decision-making body. FATF plenary is a decision-making body of FATF. It basically meets 3 times per year. That countries that are considered safe haven for supporting terror funding and money laundering are put in FATF grey list, and the inclusion serves as warning to the country that it may enter into the blacklist. Now we have Financial Action Task Force on Money Laundering. It's an intergovernment organization that is founded in 1819 on the initiative of the G7 meeting in Paris to develop policies to combat money laundering. In 2001, it mandated expanding including terror financing, and it monitored progress in implementing the FATF recommendations through mutual evaluations of the member countries. So it is basically more than 30 years has been happened. Now it combat, and members are 39 countries, and languages English and French. Marcus Player is a FATF. Marcus Player is a FATF. Thank you.